Everyone, it's Adam Helfman from Hire It Done. Did you know the air inside your house is 5 to 10 times dirtier than the outside air? Well, we've got Jeremy Marquardt from Sani-Clean Duct Cleaning in studio, and we're going to find out about guns in the ductwork, new technology, maybe live streaming, and how much dust is actually in your ductwork. You won't believe the number. Hey everyone, it's Adam Helfman. Welcome to the podcast. Today we're going to talk about duct cleaning. Did you know that the air inside your home is 5 to 10 times dirtier than the outside air? And a lot of it is resting in your ductwork. With me on the podcast today is Jeremy Marquardt from Sani-Clean Air Duct Cleaning. Welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me.
Hey man, how you been?
I've been pretty good. How about yourself?
It's been a little while since you've been out here done, hasn't it?
Yeah, things have been changing.
You've been busy, haven't you?
Absolutely.
I'm glad to hear that. So Jeremy, what year are you in your business now?
15.
You've been doing 15 years duct cleaning?
Yeah, 15 years in business for myself, and I had 14 years before I started it.
Unbelievable. So for everyone out there, 96% of all contractors fail in the first 5 years. So Jeremy obviously's tripled the rate, and congratulations to you on that.
Thank you.
So Jeremy, let me ask, duct cleaning. It doesn't sound sexy, but respiratory issues are on the rise. Doctors are now figuring out that it's air quality in the house, and one of the ways to fight air quality is to clean your ductwork. Am I right?
Yeah.
So give
absolutely.
the audience some statistics, some facts, or why they need duct cleaning.
Well, when houses are built, the construction materials get in the dust inherently, especially drywall dust. It's one of the biggest things. So even if you remodel like a kitchen, you're going to have drywall dust in your ductwork, assuming it was already clean to begin with, which usually it's not. And then you add the years on, and if you have pets or if you don't. So just about every house needs to be cleaned, even if it's a brand new construction. Once in a blue moon, we'll find one that's meticulously clean already. They're few and far between. And then if you got an older home, it just makes sense to clean it every 3 to 5 years. And, you know, it makes less dust in your house. You have to clean up less, but that's less dust in your lungs as well. And that goes to what you're speaking about, the respiratory problems and all this different stuff. It's just one of those things, you know, it's part of the maintenance of your house. You don't see it very often, but once you've seen it done, you'll do it every 3 to 5 years.
So 3 to 5 years is the key number for homeowners who are thinking about getting their ductwork cleaned. So you get it done today, it's 2025. You don't have to probably do it till 2028 or beyond, which is really good. Now, the ductwork in your home delivers air, cooling, and heating throughout each room in your house. So as the air moves through it, you have dust, it blows the dust. It goes through a filter. The filter clearly doesn't get all the dust.
It misses a lot.
And then dust flies through the air, and when it rests or gets on the ground, sometimes it falls into the ductwork. And then as the air blows again, it continues that cycle. So that's why we always say at Hire It Done, leave your fan on instead of auto. That way you're constantly cleansing the air. However, in your ductwork, you have an accumulation of dust and debris and dirt. Listen, as a kid, I used to take the duct vents out and throw my cars in there. I would throw debris in there, whatever. I was too lazy to put a Coke can. I'm sure you have found crazy amounts of stuff in ductwork. Do you have anything that, like, to top of mind that you know that's been unique or interesting?
We found all kinds of stuff. The funnest ones are always like the vintage cans with like the tin foil topper that pulls off.
Oh yeah.
Like a little slice to drink out of. We found a 1939 German Luger pistol in a duct many years ago.
Was it loaded?
It was not loaded, and I had it investigated, and it came back clean, and I got to keep it. It's a collector's item, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is.
It's always nice when that happens.
So, Jeremy, duct cleaning is a very, very unique business. You clean the ductwork. What else do you clean in a house?
Well, we clean ductwork. We clean dryer vents. Dryer vents are important more from a fire hazard point of view than from keeping dust out of the house. If your dryer vent builds up with lint, it literally restricts the dryer's airflow. Some of the dryers will literally catch on fire.
In fact, it's funny you bring this up now, because recently I read a statistic that there's about 16,000 house fires a year that the investigation can tie in duct or the dryer vent duct
Yes.
as the source of the fire.
Yep, that's true. And it's a shame because it's a simple, quick maintenance thing. You hire it done.
Yeah, well, they hire it done. I like that. So, okay, so duct cleaning, let's just take an average house. Let's say 2,500 square foot, family of 4, 1 furnace, 1 air conditioner. They turn the fan on, it heats, it cools. There's action in the house coming in from the garage, opening the front door, the back door. All that stirs up dust.
Yep.
Then you have the furnace blowing dust around. They call you up, and they're like, all right, we want to clean our ductwork. First, let me ask this. Typical 2,500 square foot house, where are we talking price range, what it costs to clean ductwork?
So my company, one of the unique things about us is we do flat rate out the door pricing. And actually my tier is up to 2,500 square feet. So
okay.
I do a 3-service bundle is my best value. It's $479, and that's our summer pricing. That's going to be a complete air duct cleaning from front to back. We're also going to clean the furnace itself, which is the HVAC unit. We do the blower, the burners, and the A coil. And then it also lastly includes a ground level exhausted dryer vent. Simply meaning a dryer vent we can touch from the outside of the house without getting on a ladder.
Okay.
So $479 will clean all 3 of those things. It's a 3-service bundle. It's the best value in the industry.
So when you say you do it different than the rest, flat fee, what are other duct cleaning companies doing when they charge a homeowner? Because I've kind of heard like per vent. Is that something?
Some of them do per vent, and I do have a per vent pricing model as well, and it's real good on like 1,000 square foot house. But once you get 1,400 square foot, the flat rate ends up being a better price. But what a lot of my competitors seem to do is just tell someone a price, and there's no rhyme or reason as to why it costs that. There's no way for a client to figure it out themselves on your website. So that's one of the things I try to do is if you go on my website, you can figure out what the price is without even calling me in most cases.
Okay. So under $500. I was going to say it's probably $750 or $1,000 today.
The average price is probably about $500 to $600 to have it done right. I have a couple good competitors that do it right. They usually cost more than me. There's a lot of other companies that are cheaper. They usually don't compare with the work that's done.
But you're an owner-operator. Correct. So you have and a crew of a couple guys, right?
Yes.
So you're on most of the jobs.
I'm on some of the jobs. I'm in the office most of the time. My brother is an all-star. He's at every single job just about. It's usually one of us. One of us is going to be on the job. He's also
quality is always what drives your success.
Yes, we care about this more than we ever could if we were just an employee.
That makes really good sense to homeowners. So I just want to clarify so that people know it's better to get a flat price and then prevent. What are some of the tricks your competitors use to upcharge a homeowner?
Well, one of the big things is sanitizing. Sanitizing is kind of a gray area. It's necessary in certain instances.
Jeremy, give me an example of why a homeowner would want to sanitize their ductwork.
Now, if they had mildew or mold throughout the ductwork, or if they had a flood come through, some gray water got in there, something to that effect, that's where you want to spray a sanitizing
What about
through.
If they have an animal that peed in the ductwork?
The same type of thing. You'd like to spray that through there. It can be helpful. There's a lot of duct cleaners that just say sanitize the ducts just because you're cleaning them. And I would argue that if you clean it thoroughly like we do, it's inherently sanitized.
So it saves the money.
Yeah.
Now, is there an odor to sanitizing? Is it toxic?
They're not toxic. You got to use a product that's safe to be heated and cooled, EPA registered. So yeah, it's not toxic if you do it correctly. And if you want to smell, you can have a smell. That's, it's a sanitizer / deodorizer. So that's one of the pros of it. It smells great in most cases if you want that type of thing.
I'm all about the smell.
But to think we can just spray some stuff in your ductwork and it's going to be literally sanitary, there's not going to be any bacteria, microbes, it's not the way it works, unfortunately. It's more of a secondary thing. The cleaning is the most important thing. If you have super bad mildew or mold, you have to replace the ducts. But if you just got it minor, then sanitizing can help. But some companies push sanitizer on every job, and it's just ridiculous in my opinion.
So they're upselling and they're just adding to their profit.
Exactly.
Okay. You don't do that.
No.
All right. Typical 2,500 square foot house that we're talking about, homeowner calls you up, you come out, 1.5 to 2 hours tops?
The average job's about an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half. Okay, that makes sense. So let me ask you this. I got a house built in the 70s. Everything's working great. I decided to get my ducts cleaned, but before I do, I actually had to get a new furnace over the summer. Now I have a new furnace, more efficient, stronger blower motor. how does that impact you if I haven't had my ductwork cleaned? What should I be looking out for? And is it okay to get my ductwork clean after I put a new furnace in?
Yeah, I recommend cleaning the ducts near the furnace install. Either right before or right after. You don't want a long gap in between the two. And what I find is with these more modern furnaces with the higher velocity blowers, they're blowing dust out that previously was not getting blown out with the old furnace because it had less velocity of airflow. So all of a sudden you get a new furnace and like, man, I got all this dust in my house all of a sudden. What's going on? The dust was always there. You're just seeing more of it. So cleaning the ductwork will get rid of that.
Okay, and that makes sense. So if you just replaced your furnace, it's actually a good idea to get your ducts cleaned.
I highly recommend it also.
So what happens when you're in the ductwork and you see loose ductwork? Like, you know how they put it together? Sometimes the ductwork pulls apart. You must have seen that in the past.
Absolutely. We see just about everything out there. If it's something we can fix, we just take care of it on the spot. If it's not, then we alert the homeowner and let them know what we've seen. Generally, it's not too bad, but once in a while, you'll see a duct that's not even connected.
I believe that. I've seen that.
It goes through the roof of the main trunk, and you can't see it till you're inside of it, and you're like, oh, what's that light up there?
And it's disconnected.
Yep, exactly.
I thought so. All right, let's get down to the actual process. You show up to the house, homeowner's excited. Walk me through what you do, like step 1 to step whatever 10 that you get paid. So you show up in the ductwork, you cut a hole, you go through the vents. What do you do?
So first and foremost, we show up with our huge truck. We have a purpose-built air duct truck. They're $130,000. Not everybody has the same type of equipment, but this is the best equipment there is in the industry to use. So by knowing how to use it correctly, we can be the best that there is. The way that it works is we're going to show up, we're going to agree on the price first and foremost. A lot of times that is done before we've even shown up. People book on our website because all of our pricing's right there. We have online booking, or they hire it done. Basically, we show up, we look at all the ductwork. There's main trunks in the basement. We'll cut an 8-inch hole in each one of those, one for the supply side, one for the return side, and we'll hook an 8-inch vacuum hose that attaches to our truck. That makes the entire system a vacuum. Then we go from each vent on the top floor working down with a compressed air line. It's got a little tool that's got whips on the end of it, or just straight air. We use both. It will agitate inside of each duct and knock all the dirt off, and the suction just takes it away. Then we'll blow straight air through it to catch any loose debris. If there's a little rock or a stone, sometimes we find a piece of plaster, or a children's toy like you mentioned earlier, it'll blow all that stuff right out. And we do it meticulously one by one and work our way back to where our suction hose is from the top.
So if a homeowner, you're on the second floor and you have your whip, doing all that crazy stuff, and it's pushing all the debris into the ductwork all the way down, and then it goes down the chase. How does it get out into the vacuum? It goes all the way to the basement where the suction is?
So the ductwork all is a vacuum because we've hooked this massive vacuum hose on. So every duct now is sucking in.
Okay.
So we stick it in from the vent opening itself, and we'll go down as far as it can go. A lot of times it's all the way down into the main trunk. If not, we'll drill a hole from underneath, and sometimes we'll drill a hole also, and we'll go from both ways. So we'll go from the top and from the bottom and get all the way through this duct. We can go plenty of feet, maybe, sometimes 100 feet into a main trunk.
So basically, from upstairs, it's pushing and blowing and sucking all the dirt down to the basement.
Down to the basement,
where you have a hole and the suction is coming through there.
Correct.
Okay. Now that you have a hole, how do you seal the hole so that, have fresh ductwork? Now you cut a hole. What now?
It's a great question. So what we do is we use 26 gauge sheet metal. So we'll put a sheet metal square onto each one of the big holes that we've cut. We'll affix it with foil tape and 8 screws. This is high quality foil tape. It's going to stick real well. UL approved.
It's made for ductwork.
It's made for ductwork. It's made for exactly what we're doing. You don't want duct tape. It's the worst thing for ducts, ironically.
I know.
We also drill some little 1-inch holes to allow our cleaning agitator to get in, and those have little black plastic caps that snap into place, and they're all airtight and professionally done. It looks good. It's also a selling point. If you sell your house, you can show that your ducts were clean. and we also can use them next time when we come back.
Do you ever show pictures before and after with a homeowner?
Every single time. We show before and after pictures. They're super impressive. Better than that, we show a live demonstration partway through the job where you can see with your own eyes what's coming out of your own ducts.
Do people say like, oh my God, this is gross?
It's better than any video or picture we've ever been able to capture. Me and you were on TV some years ago.
I remember we did some television.
It wows people. It leaves a memory when you see what's actually there.
So, our example home, 2,500 square foot house with single furnace and air conditioner. How much dust is in that ductwork accumulated after you've done duct cleaning? And let's just say they've never had it done, and they're not smokers. No, nothing. Give me a quantification of what it is.
So it varies. Obviously, the age of the house is going to play a big part. The 2,500 square foot house from 1939 is going to have a lot more in it than a house built in 2005.
Sure.
But the statistics I've read basically say that it's around 25 pounds per house on average that we remove. And some are going to be more than that, and some are going to be less. That's how we get to that average.
So a house has about 25 pounds of debris and dust in the ductwork.
Yeah, it's not just dust. A lot of times it's pieces of plywood. Sometimes we find pieces of brick. The older homes with plaster walls, when they made the holes in the wall to put the vent cover on, the plaster is usually in the duct. And it's like cat litter. Imagine dumping a bag of cat litter in your duct. That's what we encounter in some of these older homes. The newer homes, it's not as much, but sometimes you'll find a piece of plywood, or you'll find the spindle from the solder from the plumbing guy if they did copper pipe. Building materials. So
you'll find a lot of that.
I've found some builders literally sweep the trash in the floor vents and don't use trash bins. And good builders don't do it that way, but we have seen
that many, many times. In fact, here's another thing. Let's say that 2,500 square foot house, that's our sample house today, had a new kitchen put in, a new bathroom, maybe finished the basement, maybe added a room addition. Is that a good example of when you should get the ductwork cleaned, get the job done after everyone's done, have you come out and clean the duct?
100%. If you do any type of remodeling where you're sanding drywall or putting a mess into the air such as that, I would recommend cleaning it. Like if you had it cleaned last year, but then you remodel the kitchen this year, you're starting your time frame over. It's time to clean again, get all the drywall dust out, start at a clean base, then go 3 to 5 years. And
what about like if I just had the room painted? Or the house painted?
Painting doesn't really mess it up too bad. It's more making dust.
Yeah.
Now, if your ducts have never been cleaned, then it's a no-brainer. You just got to do it. You need to start with the clean base, and then you'll know where you're coming from. Don't assume that it's clean, because it's probably not. The majority that we go to are dirty, and some of them we find holes that other companies have cleaned in the past, and we find it wasn't up to the standard that we do.
Let's talk about a finished basement. Today, that's a very popular renovation. It used to be drop ceiling.
Yep.
But today, a lot of finished basements have 2 types of ceilings. One, flat black painted, which is easy for you.
That's
for
the
access.
Best. That's the best in my opinion.
Second, a drywalled ceiling where the companies say, we're going to make your basement into a lower level. And I got to be honest. For me, I love a drywalled ceiling because when I go downstairs, I want to feel like I'm in a lower level, not a basement. However, for you... Now, I know the mechanical room, sometimes they leave that open, but if you have a drywall ceiling, you have to go and basically figure out what to do, right?
So that's the tricky part, is if it's a large home, like we do a lot of, 5,000 square footers with a completely drywalled basement. Maybe they have 2 or 3 furnaces. Maybe they have extra zones, meaning more thermostats. Those are more tricky to figure out, like where does the ductwork run, compared to if we could just look at it and see what it is. But in the average house, like our 2,500 square foot base house, in most cases, we have a new tool they came out with a few years ago that allow us, previously we'd have to drill in the basement into each duct to get our agitator through. Sure. If it's blocked with drywall, we might not be able to get to everything. Now we have a tool that can go right through the grill of the opening and snake its way back and do the whip action.
Oh, you do?
So it's almost a moot point. It's rare that we miss anything in a house that's covered in drywall in the basement, unless there's like a crossover duct that's not accessible from, outside of the drywall.
Let me ask you this. Any event in your house, even if you've replaced carpeting, because that blows up a lot of dust. If you live on a dirt road,
yes,
there are a lot of environmental factors that would impact a house where homeowners should take a harder look and say, I need to get my ductworks clean on a regular basis. Have you ever had anyone do it more than once every couple of years?
We do have some people that do it every year, mostly because previously they were doing it with a different company every year. Maybe the different company wasn't doing a great job. Most houses we go to after a year are still clean.
Okay.
There are people with super severe allergies. You know, there's some people that need it every year, but most people don't. I would say it's like less than 1% that literally need it every year. Now, if let's say we come to your house, you hire us 3 years later, we get out there, we open the holes, we take our picture, before and after pictures, it's spick and span in there. We'll show you, let you make up your mind if you want to proceed or not. And if you don't want to proceed, we just patch up the hole and we don't charge you a dime and we leave.
Now, what about multifamily? I've seen apartment buildings have called me. They want roofs, they want siding, they want things done around the house. And I've also noticed when we've done roofs that the dryer vents have not been plugged or cleaned properly or connected even. They're going right into the attic.
Yep.
So if someone's in an apartment or a property manager, they could call you or through Hire Done go to you.
Yep.
And basically you'll come out and you can address the situation and solve it.
We can, and it's also a situation when you're in a group type of a situation, you have multiple homes that are right next to each other. We give a discount if we're going to do 5 at a time or something like that. We're not driving the truck from house to house. We can actually give a little better of a deal. So if you run a complex, then it's a no-brainer. And especially, you made a good point touching on like the dryer vent thing. If you're in a condo and you're attached to other people and you're keeping your dryer vent clean and preventing fires in your house, but your neighbors aren't, that's a big deal. Everybody in the building needs to have it done for everybody to be safe. And that's one of the things that gets missed out on a lot out there. So you need to talk to your neighbors, talk them into doing it. We give a group special. If we're going to have 5 neighbors all do it at the same time, you'll all get a discount. It's that simple. That's
not a bad idea. So like if I'm the president of the neighborhood association, you could send a mass email out saying, look, we've got Sani-Clean coming next week.
Exactly.
We have a calendar. Sign up. If we get 5 homeowners or more to sign up, it's a $50 discount, $10 discount, whatever it is.
Yep.
You get a discount.
Yep.
You'll do that.
Exactly. And we have another thing we've been doing recently. We have a product called the No Pest Vent. A lot of birds make nests inside of dryer vents. They just fly up to it, they take their beak, they open it up, and they're right inside in 2 seconds. So we've got a vent that's magnetically shut, and it has 2 doors on it. So if they were able to open the first one, there's a second one they have to get in. It takes minimal airflow to open it up, so it doesn't restrict the airflow at all.
Yeah.
But when it shuts, no pests can get in. So we're now installing these for a reasonable price. So if you have any kind of problems with birds or anything like that, give us a call. We can change out your outer cover and solve that problem from happening again.
Let me ask one more question. You're cleaning the ductwork and you notice the furnace filter is plugged. You notice the filter or the furnace hasn't been tuned up in years. You're not a heating cooling contractor, but you do help the homeowner with cleaning most of it. At what point do you refer them to getting the furnace tuned up, or do you just do your best up to where you need to? How does that work?
What we do is we do a thorough cleaning. We're smart. We've been doing this forever. So if we notice anything out of the ordinary, we refer one of our HVAC partners, which we have several, depending on the area that you live in. I have different companies for different areas that I've worked with directly, and I know that they're good. So that's usually the best way there. We are not an HVAC company, so we don't do repairs ourselves and things like that.
But you'll refer them out.
But once in a while, we'll see something. You get a little old lady and she's got a little problem. It might be beyond the scope of what we do, but it might take 5 minutes to fix it.
We do it.
So that's just how we operate.
What's your forecast for business to the end of 2025 and beyond?
Growth. We're just getting bigger and doing more jobs and more quality. We ask every single client for a review, which we get about 10%. So all the reviews that we do have, it's probably 10% of our work. But our goal is just to keep growing and get bigger without sacrificing any quality. And if anything, to get better in quality, which isn't to say that we're bad now, but if you ain't got room to improve, then you ain't human.
Let me ask you this. As we wrap things up here, Jeremy, reviews, your quality, what about technology? Is there anything like technology-wise that has increased or helped you do a better job? Is there any like magic wand, UV lights? Is there anything technology there? I know technology for scheduling and website and AI and all that can help you, and it makes a streamlined process for you. But What do you see as far as technology? Is there like a new backpack that you can go and, or not? What do you think?
So there's no like magic technology in duct cleaning. There's lots of companies that'll tell you there is, and they always have something to sell. Unfortunately, the big truck is where it's at, and just knowing how to use it. And at the end of the day, it's about the pride that you take in your own work. You're only as good as you can do yourself.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. I could send someone that doesn't know what they're doing with the big truck, and they're not going to do as good of a job as somebody that does know what they're doing with it. As far as the technology goes, we touched on it a minute ago. We got a tool called the Microline. It was invented by a guy named John Bentley in Minnesota. He's invented many of the tools that we use in our trade, but it's called a Microline. It's a air line with a whip on the end of it and a blower the diameter of a Bic pen. So that we got that about 5 years ago, and that's really changed what we can do, because now the drywall ceilings in the basement aren't as big of a deal. We can stick it right through an opening without even pulling the vent cover off, and it cleans it thoroughly. That's
nice.
The biggest technological advance, in my opinion, that we've had in a while.
What about like live camera feed? Do you do that too sometimes?
We do. We don't necessarily do a live camera feed. It's difficult to do. We can do it with like a GoPro and stuff like that, but it adds a lot of time to the job, and I'd end up having to charge more. But we do before and after pictures at every single house, and we take video at some of them. But like I said earlier, we show a live demonstration with your eyes. It's better than the videos and the pictures can be. Our pictures are super high quality. We get a lot of comments about them, but what you can see with your own eye blows it away.
I believe that for sure. All right, well, Jeremy, it was great to have you here. Give everybody the website, the phone number, and if we have any specials, maybe you can extend a discount to our viewership.
Yeah, so our phone number is 877-600-DUCT. That's 877-300 or 877-600-3828. Our website's real easy. It's www.airduct.cleaning. We have online booking there. We have all the information you could want, the pricing, the service areas, all of that. So we've got an extra special discount for our Hire It Done listeners. If you go to hireitdone.com and type in air duct cleaning, we're going to send you a coupon link it's for $25 off of our current sale prices, which, like I said, right now, $479. We have a 3-service bundle. That's the best deal. We mentioned earlier about if you have a new furnace or you're getting a new furnace, I'll do it for $379 without the dryer vent and the furnace. So that's a really good deal. And it's $429 if you want the furnace and the ducts done without the dryer vent. But yeah, $25 off our current sale prices. Just go to hireitdone.com. That's the best way.
Also, don't forget the radio show every Saturday morning on WRIF 101.1, Everything That Rocks. Jeremy, we're going to have you on the show as well soon. If you want Jeremy's information, it'll be in the link in the description below. Thanks for coming on, and I'm sure I'll see you again.
Thanks for having me. I always love working with Hire It Done.